I decided to rent out some space to sell some of my woodworking, and I figured if I'm going to sell woodworking, it just makes sense to have a reclaimed wood wall in my booth. So, what I'm going to do is take you through the steps of what I did to build this reclaimed wood wall. It's not that difficult. Building a reclaimed wood wall is fairly easy, and it's just some simple steps, so we'll just walk through those real quickly. As is the case with most woodworking projects, the hardest part is finding lumber that you want to use. I was lucky enough to come across an auction in Manhattan, Kansas in the National Guard Armory for cabinets. And the pallets were made out of a lot of oak and poplar and cedar. And the shipping company decided they didn't want them. So, since all those cabinets were going to be sold at auction, these pallets were free. The unfortunate thing is, all I had was a crowbar and a hammer, which is extremely difficult to take pallets apart with just a crowbar and a hammer, especially when they are hardwoods. But luckily, with enough grit and determination, I was able to pull apart quite a few pallets and end up with quite a bit of wood to work with. I think I ended up with about 200 square feet, not board feet. I think they were only half-inch boards, so maybe 100 board feet total. I had to wake up bright and early, so I think I only got 6 or 8 pallets. I can't remember. It's been a while. The next important task is to repair any boards that were destroyed when pulling the pallets apart. I'm just simply gluing joints together, nothing more, nothing less. If it's too destroyed, I just throw it away. I also took the opportunity to cut off some pieces that were severely broken, like this piece that you see on the right hand side there. That just needs to be cut. You end up getting about 3 or 4 feet out of an 8 foot long piece, but that's what you've got to do to make them, look good. Otherwise, they're not going to stack up real well on your reclaimed wood wall. And now we reach every woodworker's favorite part, which is sanding. This is a very light sanding with 220 grit, and the reason I chose 220 grit is because I didn't want to take away any characteristics of the wood. My goal here is to just knock down the sharp corners and the splinters that are sticking up. People are going to touch your reclaimed wood wall. It's just something that people do. It looks nice, people want to touch it, they want to see how it feels, and you just want to take away the rough spots, but you don't want to take away the characteristics of the reclaimed wood. Now I am applying a mixture of homemade acetone and BLO, boiled linseed oil. If you would like to see the video on how I made this homemade acetone and BLO mixture, there will be a link in the description below, and there will also be a link at the end of this video that you could follow. As you can see, after about 30 minutes or less, this is how the wood looks. So I want to remind you again, this is what it looked like, and this is how it looks after about 20 or 30 minutes. So I really like this homemade acetone and this BLO mixture. So now this is the step where I'm going to apply it to all the wood. It only needs to dry overnight, and by tomorrow these will be ready to hang up on my reclaimed wood wall. So when you're going to have a reclaimed wood wall, it's best to have something gray or black behind it, because there are going to be cracks that show through. There are going to be splits in the wood. The wood's going to move. It's going to show a little bit unless you do tongue and grooved, which is a lot of work. I'd rather not do tongue and grooved. So the best thing to do is to put something gray behind it. Well, this was a studded out wall that I didn't feel like sheetrocking. So since I didn't feel like sheetrocking it and painting it, I just took some old gray blankets that actually I think my parents kept from when I was in high school. So I raided their linen closet and stole them back. I guess they bought them to begin with, so I didn't really steal them back. I liberated them. So I liberated these sheets from my parents' linen closet, and I went ahead and tacked them up so that it had a gray background, so that when the wood shifts or when there are cracks, it's going to show the gray. I wasn't planning on having a baseboard, but since the red oak came out completely black, I figured I would just use that and it would kind of give the appearance of having a baseboard. Right now, I'm making sure that the baseboard or the first board is completely level. It does not matter if the floor itself isn't level. You have to make this first board level, otherwise everything's going to look a little off. Now the only thing left is to continue to add boards, checking every so often that the boards are level. I prefer to add boards on one side, varying the lengths, and then filling in on the other side. That way, I only have to worry about using the circular saw on one side, And since the right side is going to be exposed and people can see it, I prefer the right side to have their natural edge, and then I use the circular saw to cut the other side. So I'm actually working right to left based on the fact that the right edge is going to be seen, but the left edge is not. So the only tools that you will need when you're doing a reclaimed wood wall is a ladder if it's going to be taller than your head, which it should be, a nail gun or nails and a hammer, a level, a circular saw, and some wood glue just in case you need to glue some joints together or make some small repairs. If you are working on sheetrock, you can use CA glue and actually glue the boards to the sheetrock. I will warn you though, if you want to take the wood wall or the reclaimed wood wall out, you're going to basically destroy the wall. So only do that if you know you're going to have it there forever. And as always, thank you for watching. If you liked what you saw, please hit the like button and subscribe for more videos. As promised, the link to the acetone video on how to make your own homemade acetone to age the wood is in the upper right hand corner. And as always, thank you for watching and have a nice day.